Record of a Disaster on St. George Island Part 2, A Destiny of Survival and Sacrifice. First, Realization and Decision for Self-Action, September 19th to 13th. On September 9th, the group discovered a flyer indicating that a rescue destroyer had arrived the previous night, but they had missed it due to a lack of communication. Isolation. With their wireless radio broken and no hope of another rescue mission, the unit concluded that their only choice was to repair their damaged Daihatsu barge and attempt to reach either Guadalcanal or Bougainville on their own. Extreme rations. They had only about 450 grams of wet rice per person. Starting September 12th, the ration was strictly limited to 150 grams per day, supplemented by parts of palm, grass, and whatever fish or shellfish they could catch. Desperate repairs. To avoid enemy planes, they worked primarily at night, submerged in seawater to repair the engine and the hull. Second, the miracle of the engine and heartbreaking choice. September 14th to 16th. The engine starts. After days of exhausting effort and risking daytime repairs on September 15th, the engine finally roared to life, bringing the men to cheers. Splitting the force, it was determined that the barge could not carry all 67 survivors. After intense debate, they decided to head for Bougainville, but 27 men would have to stay behind. The promise. The 27 men of the artillery ammunition squad, led by Sergeant Hagio, volunteered to remain. They entrusted the departing group, 40 men from headquarters, medical and engineers, to reach a Japanese base and send back a rescue mission. Third, the escape and Hinomaru in the sky. September 17th to 22nd. Launching the barge. It took 3 days of grueling labor to push the 8-ton barge over 50 miles of reef using logs. On the night of September 18th, they finally set sail, tearfully promising the remaining comrades that they would return for them. Navigation in the dark. Relying on a single printed map and a primitive compass, they navigated only at night to avoid U.S. patrols. They faced storms and engine failures that nearly left them adrift in the open sea. A sign of hope. On September 22nd, a Japanese seaplane with the Hinomaru insignia spotted them. The pilots circled low and waved a handkerchief in response to their frantic signaling, moving the starving soldiers to tears of joy. Fourth, arrival and the tragic truth 31 years later. Rescue. On September 24th, they reached Keita on Bougainville Island, where they were warmly welcomed by the Navy. Fate of the remaining 27. Although Kimura and his fellow survivors begged the Navy to rescue their comrades, the deteriorating war situation made it impossible. The 1973 investigation. It was not until 1973 that a formal investigation confirmed the fate of the 27 men left behind. They had moved to Isabel Island and were all killed in action during a skirmish with the U.S. patrol on December 22, 1942. Their remains were finally returned to Japan 31 years after the war.